Alright, welcome to the Kovac Children Functional Minimum Update. And today we'll be going through some of the base systems that are in the game and just looking at how everything is working a little bit. Alright, so let's start out with main, because, it's main. Yes, we want to save all that. And this just saves all of our stuff for our main menu. As you can see here in this widget, nothing overly complicated or fancy there. The heart of what's going on with this game is here in this level, apartment, which is our one level of the game, because this is a short story-esque experience, but this is where all the good stuff is. Alright, so if we go ahead and hit play, we're going to go ahead and demonstrate some of these systems here. First and foremost, obviously this game as a detective story and branching narrative story needed to have a conversation system, so we've got that up and running. So let's go over here and talk with this NPC. This is a pretty simple blueprint for the NPC. All it says is freeze the player's controls and camera and call up the widget that controls the UI and conversation. And as you can see here, we can ask this NPC different questions, get more information on the narrative. UI is what's controlling all of this. So it's not very pretty right now, but it is working. These are all on delays that will have to be tweaked eventually, but again, for right now, it works. Each of the NPCs here will have their own widget UIs. And let's look at branching narrative now. So obviously, as you continue to talk with NPCs and continue to pick up new clues, that needs to unlock new dialogue options with NPCs. Sometimes that'll come in the form of having asked a conversation or asked a question in conversation rather. Sometimes that comes in the form of picking up clues. So this quote-unquote, clue system, which is represented here with this guy, would do something like this. So it's like, okay, we're looking at the clue, or we have some story stuff here and all this UI stuff. And that will basically trigger, in this same for conversations, a Boolean value that is stored here in this actor to switch. Now if we go over to GH, having learned that, oh my god, GH did it, whatever it is, we can see that it activates a new branch, a new conversation. Yeah, so just a brief look at some of the blueprints and such here. This is the blueprint for the actor that stores all the booleans. As you can see, there's not much here because it is literally just here to store the booleans. And we've got some organization here. So most of our most of our stuff is in UI widgets. So there's a lot of this sort of thing going on. And let's look very briefly at the stuff for GH. Again, most of this is just about freezing the player and calling up the appropriate UI widget. And we can look at his conversation widget as well. And if we go over to the graph, see that there's a whole bunch of, crazy stuff going on. So this is obviously checking, okay, let's see if is it the first conversation with him. If so, play the first conversation and unlock these conversation options over here. If not, and if this specific Boolean is flipped, then we need to go into the why'd you do it section. These are the different conversation buttons over here. I might end up implementing some sort of data structure to store all of this, but at current I think that this is working just fine. And I mean, that's kind of it. Obviously I need to continue to work on new 3D assets for this and continue to refine level design and all that, because it's all very simplistic right now. But again, this is a functional minimum. And that's all I really have for you today. The systems are in place. Now it's just a matter of going through and using those tools to implement the rest of the game. Thank you very much, and I look forward to showing off more of Kovac's Children in the coming month.